everyone! In this video, we'll see the new version of YITH WooCommerce Recover Abandoned Cart. We'll see the new dashboard and all the options so you can start recovering abandoned carts and pending orders. We'll even see how you can automatically send coupons to customers to encourage them to come back to the shop and complete the order. Before we get into it, let me remind you that we'll list the links to the plugin, documentation, and live demo with access to the admin dashboard below in the description or in the first comment. And now, let's get to it. Okay, so let's go to YITH Abandoned Cart. Here we have the new redesigned dashboard with all these sections: dashboard, settings, email, your store tools, help, and the option to collapse the menu. In dashboard, we have an overview of all the reports related to recovered carts and pending orders, rate conversion, total amount recovered, number of abandoned carts and pending orders, and sent emails. Above, we'll find more tabs, but let's go through the settings before getting into those tabs so we can see how to configure the behavior of the plugin. So, in settings, we're going to configure the global options to manage abandoned carts and pending orders recovery and set restrictions based on user roles. First, we can enable cart recovery. Then we can decide after how long we want the plugin to identify a cart as abandoned. So how many minutes, hours, or days have to pass to consider a cart as abandoned. 1 minute is okay for me. Then we can decide if we want to delete abandoned carts, and if so, after how long. We can just enter 0 here, so they're never deleted, or we can set a specific number of minutes, hours, or days, so they're automatically deleted from the abandoned carts list. Let's say I want them deleted after 30 days. Then we can decide if we want to recover carts of guest users. We can choose to never do that, so we only do that for registered users. We can choose to always do that, so we can recover all carts, or we can choose to do it only if they accept the terms and conditions. If this option is selected, we'll get this text box below where we can enter the terms and conditions, and they will see this on the checkout page. Let's go see that. So this is the checkout page, and if we scroll down, here we have the terms and conditions checkbox with the text we enter in the text box we saw before. They can check it to agree. Something important to keep in mind is that in order to recover the abandoned carts of guest users, they need to enter their email address at checkout before leaving the site. This is not needed if they're registered users because they would have already entered an email address when registering, so they can just abandon the cart on the cart page before getting to the checkout. And it can be registered by the plugin as abandoned based on the plugin configuration. But guest users need to enter an email address so we can register the cart and email them afterwards to try and recover it. Okay, now back. Then we can enable pending order recovery, so the plugin can also recognize pending orders. We can set a time frame to delete pending orders. We can set this in minutes, hours, or days. Let's enter 30 days. So after 30 days, the plugin will automatically delete the pending order from the list. We can also enter 0 here if we don't want to delete pending orders from the list. Then we can choose whether to recover the carts and pending orders of all users or only of specific user roles. If we select only specific user roles, then we'll be able to select the roles here. Let's select all users again. Then we have user email settings where we can set the sender's name, email address, and reply to email of all the emails generated and sent by the plugin as reminders of the abandoned carts and pending orders. And in admin email settings, we can enable the option to notify the admin when a cart is recovered, so we get an email when an abandoned cart is turned into an order. And we can enter the email's heading, recipient, and subject. Now, the plugin includes the option to include coupons in the recovery email templates to encourage users to complete the orders. So, in coupon settings, we can set the prefix for those coupons so we can identify them. In this case, it's this one. We can choose to automatically delete these coupons once they're used. And we can also choose to automatically delete expired coupons. We'll see how to add these coupons in a minute. Next, in cron settings, we can set the time interval for the recovery emails to be sent in minutes, hours, or days. Right now it's 1 minute. So the emails are sent to users automatically when the time we set in the email template expires and the cron job is performed. Keep in mind that this requires WordPress cron to work properly. Last, in extra settings, there's an option to allow shop managers to manage the plugin settings as well, in case you need them to be able to do that. Now let's save these options and let's move on to email so we can see how to create and configure emails. So in this email templates tab, we can see all the templates created with their name, the type of templates they are. For example, this is for abandoned carts and this one is for pending orders. Then we have the time frame when they're sent. So this is sent an hour after the cart has been abandoned, and this one is sent 24 hours after the cart has been abandoned. Then we have the subject of the emails. Make sure to enter something that catches your customer's attention. Then we have the conversion rate and the status. We can enable and disable any of these emails individually, and we can edit and delete each one individually. And of course, we have bulk actions to enable, disable, or delete several templates at once. We can create a template by clicking on Add New Email Template, but let's go edit one of these templates to see all the options available. Let's see the abandoned cart template that's sent after an hour. Before moving on, let me remind you to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell down below so you know every time we publish a new video. Now, let's continue. So we have the template's name, the email type. Here's where we decide if it's going to be an email for abandoned carts or pending orders. Then we have the email content, where we can enter a message to try and convince users to come back and complete the order. We can use placeholders to dynamically retrieve information. For example, here we're starting the email with the user's first and last name. Then we enter a coupon that's generated automatically. Here we have a summary of the table with the products that were in the cart. And here's a button they can click on to get redirected to the site and convert the abandoned cart or pending order into an order. This can all be added by clicking on this button and simply clicking on the placeholder we want to add. Then there's the email subject. Here we're already telling the user there's a 10% discount, so they're encouraged to open the email. We can schedule automatic delivery so we don't have to bother sending it manually. And we can define when to automatically send the email here in minutes, hours, or days. This one is sent an hour after the cart has been registered as abandoned. Don't forget, this depends on the configuration of the cron settings we saw before in the Settings tab. Then we have the coupon options. In this case, the option to add a coupon to this email is enabled and the coupon value is set to 10%. It can be a percentage or a fixed price. Then, as you can see here, the coupon expires after 1 day. This is of course starting from the day when the email was sent. You can set any number of days here or leave it empty if you don't want it to expire. When the email is generated by the plugin, the coupon will be dynamically created based on these settings and added to the coupon list in Marketing Coupons. You can even send the test email to yourself to see a preview. Let's see that. So here's the email. There is something in your cart. Here we would have the first and last name. Get 10% off your next purchase. We would have the coupon here. Here it says how long it's valid for, 24 hours. And then we have the products table and the subtotal. And here we would have the link to recover the cart. Okay, let's go back. Since we're editing an existing coupon, here we have a report showing how many times the email was sent, how many times users visited the website by clicking on the link or button that's in the email, how many cards were recovered thanks to the email, and the conversion rate in comparison with the number of sent emails and the number of clicks. Now let's go back and move on to email logs. Here we can see all the emails that were sent by the plugin. We have the email of the user to whom it was sent, the template that was sent, the abandoned cart ID, and the date when it was sent. And there are bulk actions here to delete several logs at once in case you want to clear this table. Then in your store tools, we'll find additional tools to improve user experience, increase conversions, and loyalize customers. The best options are wishlist to allow customers to create a list of products they're interested in and share them with family and friends, and gift cards so you can sell them to increase your earnings and attract new customers. Then in help, we'll find a link to the documentation to learn how to configure and use the plugin, a link to the frequently asked questions to clear any doubts, and a button to submit a ticket in case you need help from our developers. Okay, so now that we have seen how the plugin is configured, let's go back to Dashboard and let's get into these tabs. First, in Abandoned Carts, we can see the complete list of abandoned carts. We have the user that left the abandoned cart, their email, their phone number, the subtotal of the cart, the last email sent by the plugin. In this case, it's the first email that's sent 24 hours after the cart has been abandoned, and the last update time. And here we have a few more actions. If we click on View Cart, We'll see all this information about the abandoned cart, the cart status, the user that abandoned the cart, the email, the currency, and more. The history, where we can see all the emails sent for this cart, when they were sent, and whether or not the customer clicked on the link that's included in the email, and the product left in the cart with its price, quantity, and total. Then under cart actions, we can manually send the email to recover this cart. In this drop-down, we can choose which email template we want to send and then click here to send it. Let's go back. We can also click here on send email to manually select and send the email template. And after sending it, the info will be updated here in the last email sent column. We can also delete each cart here or use bulk actions to delete several carts at once. Then in pending orders, we can see the complete list of those orders placed in the store that are still unpaid. For each pending order, we have the order number, customer, and customer email. If we click on the order number, we'll be redirected to the order details page. Then we have how many items there are in the order, when it was created, the total, the last email sent, and we have a few actions here. In this case, if we click on view order, we'll be redirected to the order page like this, where we can see all the order details, unlike for abandoned carts where we don't have an order yet. Then, by clicking on the send email icon, we can select the email template to send from the ones we created in the email section. Let's choose this one that we created for pending orders, and after sending it, the info will be updated here under last email sent. And we can delete each pending order by clicking here and filter by customer here. Last, in the Recovered Carts tab, we'll find all abandoned carts or pending orders that were recovered thanks to the emails sent by the plugin. A cart is considered recovered when the user clicks on the link that's in the emails created here in email. That's the link that redirects users to the cart page so they can complete the order. So here we have the order that was recovered, the customer and the customer email. We can also click on the order number here to go over to the order page. We can see how many items there are in each order, whether it was an abandoned cart or a pending order, if there were any coupons used to recover the order. In these cases, there weren't, when each order was processed, and the total. Okay, so that's how you can configure and use the plugin. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give this video a big thumbs up, and we'll meet again for our next video.